This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we are running a build of Temur adventures that I have found very fun. It's hitting the right notes for me. Now, the Lukka Koma interaction is something we showcased on a video a few months ago, so you can check that out if you want more of this type of action. If you run a whole bunch of 3-drops, and then you use Lukka to turn those 3-drops into a Koma because you have no other cards in your deck that are 4, 5, or 6 mana, that's a very powerful interaction. And it's mostly powered by the fact that these give you something on the way in. You know, you make a 1/1, or you kill something, or you bounce something, and then you play the other side of it and turn that into a mighty Koma. It just takes over the game very, very quickly. And Temur Adventures needs a boost of power like that in Best of 1 to kind of survive against Embercleave, Winoda, and Emergent Ultimatum. So this deck, I thought, really brought it, but there was something about the build. It was just a bit clunky. The card that always messed me up was Llanowar Visionary. Llanowar Visionary is a very popular in this Koma build because you can play it for 3 mana. It's a 2/2, it draws a card, and then the next turn you tap it for mana to cast Lukka, and Lukka comes down and immediately turns the Visionary into a Koma. And that sounds like a great curve, but I found resolving this and getting it to stick just too clunky. It was too expensive, and it sat on the bat like, if you didn't have a Lukka, or if the opponent just held up a shock or some kind of way to remove it, it was just really bad. And I think it penciled you too much into one game plan, in kind of the way that Speaker of the Heavens and Sky Mall did in the mono white lists that were popular for a while and still do show up on ladder, but aren't my preferred version. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to run a cheaper mana source, Jaspera Sentinel. This deck has a lot of creatures, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20-some creatures, and at least like 12 of them kind of come out for 1 mana, so that you can use Jaspera Sentinel to make mana early. If you draw the Sentinel in combination with the Innkeeper or the Lovestruck Beast, you can often play one of those cards and then also play an adventure mode, like some kind of interactive piece, whether it be Decisive Denial, Fire Prophecy, the other interactive spells in the deck, or the adventure modes of Giant or Borrower. And then the next turn, you can usually afford to play an adventure creature. You probably draw a card if you have an Innkeeper, or you can just get Lukka onto the battlefield a turn earlier, which is something the Visionary let you do anyway. A Crow and War is here because we can steal our opponent's creatures and turn those into giant snakes using Lukka Coppercoat Outcast. That's fun. Mystical Dispute, along with Decisive Denial, is here to keep the ultimatum from resolving and give you a chance in the control matchups. So that's a look at the deck. I'm looking forward to getting to play it for you guys. It has really good records against aggro. It's an aggro machine gun killing destroyer, and against ultimatum it's close. Sometimes you pull off the Koma trick and you tap their land and they don't get to ultimatum. Sometimes that you force them to play their ultimatum and you decisively deny it. Like, those are the good feeling games. The bad feeling are where they kill all your creatures and your Lukka comes down and pluses, and it would be awesome if you got to untap, but then they cast ultimatum and everything dies. So that matchup is tough. But anyway, there's only a few days left in the ranked season, and there's new cards from the Forgotten Realms, the new D&D expansion, around the corner. So on the home stretch, I'm just going to try to show you some of the decks that I'm having the most fun with, and when possible, post some extra videos. I hope you enjoyed the 250 Sultai content. Let me know what you thought of that. Maybe there's a 250 Temur out there somewhere. Anyway, let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. So, Sentinel on the play, but no creature to go with it just yet. But we'll get there. Actually, this hand probably won't be an impressive showing for the Sentinel unless we draw an Innkeeper or a Lovestruck Beast, but I promise, it looks better sometimes. Koma off the top. Well, let's go straight to the stomping and get in there for 1. See? Rogue Tribal, back at it again. You suck, by the way. Stupid card. Makes me so mad. Oh, that's a great draw, though. I'm happy now. Let's get a critter on the field that they have to worry about. Draw a card. And then next turn, we have to Focus on dork removal, because Winoda is a problem. Actually, we have Lukka next turn if we draw an untapped land. We just have Lukka. So if our opponent plays Elite Spellbinder, I think they have to respect that. They have to take the Lukka. Okay, they don't play Elite Spellbinder. They play Luminarch Aspirant, which can't trigger Winoda. Alright, let's block here. Interesting choice there. If the opponent wants to trade the Selfless Savior for this, that's okay. Now we can really wreck them. Do we do it when they're tapped out? They might commit a Winoda to the battlefield, but we also might draw land off this, so we'll just play this one first and see what happens. Another Sentinel. It's not a land. Let's see how our opponent, what our opponent does on the board before we play this Bone Crusher Giant. Also hold up Decisive Denial, but it probably doesn't matter here. Ooh, maybe we want to use the Denial to have the Sentinel fight the Aspirant. Yeah, let's do that, because the Bone Crusher Giant can take care of this Knight. And there's going to be almost no spells for the Decisive Denial to counter. Their deck is kind of all creatures. Alright, now we have this on the board to threaten to turn into a Koma. Yeah, we have made their life miserable. Winoda that can't keep creatures on the board is sad Winoda. Blade Historian is here, sure. Show him what's up. Here's Lukka. Here's Koma.
Centers are welcome to debate me in battle.
And we'll see if the opponent has some kind of a Koma solution here, as now the 3/3 is in play. Alright, Winoda is in the house, but Winoda doesn't trigger when Blade Historian attacks. That's a human. Okay, Shuffler, you're fine. Hey, we did hit a creature, nice. Would have preferred an adventure creature, but it is what it is. Roar. Get him, girl. Get him. It's most serpent, yeah. Dig it. Double Koma? Don't think we can lose if we double Koma. Now we have this untapped one to block our opponent if they try to get fresh. Rim Rock can't block. No attacks. There's the Brazen Borrowers. Oh, we found them. Go away. And you too. None of you. And yeah, none of you. None of you either, even though you can't block. Just the Lukka board wipe special. Oh man. Oh, let all Magic games feel this way. Alright, we got a Sentinel Lovestruck Beast hand. Obosh. Might be an adventure showdown mirror. The dragon version is really let's see, the Dragon Epiphany thing. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's not. I'm really insightful analysis there, but I'm really not sure how to look at it. I know that I don't like it when my mana creature gets smashed, but it left the Innkeeper alive. So, do we play this other one on green to play double green spell here? We might regret it. We definitely could regret it. But I think we're going to need double green the way that this hand is shaping up, so come on out. And you too. And we'll see if the opponent has another Spikefield Hazard or another Bone Crusher Giant. It's asking a lot. Nice. Okay, they're also the Koma version. Ooh, did that mean I have to leave up Decisive Denial next turn? Because they might have the perfect draw if they go untapped red, Lukka, Coppercoat, Outcast, turn this into Koma. I think that this is one of those moments where we could do that, but we're not supposed to. I think we're supposed to play our Beast. Because I think if we're making that play, it's too defensive, because we can't just hold mana up the rest of the game and do, like, not very much on board. We have to get our deck rolling and make them have the perfect draw. Okay, so you're telling me there's a chance. No land from the opponent. Mystical Dispute doesn't hit Lukka unless we have 3 mana available. But Decisive Denial can for 2, so we can play 2 Lovestruck Beastie 1/1s here. We can also just test them and see if they want to trade this beast. They do. Alright, so they still need to top an untapped red. I think we may give them another window to do it, because we want to stay ahead of them in the Beast War, and we need to draw into red mana. Our own mana is super awkward from the way we played the early game. They found it. Do they have the Lukka? They do not. They bone crush my Edgy, which is still brutal. It's still pretty brutal. Interesting. Not playing one of these, holding up the mana. So that's Brazen Borrower, I guess? Well, the good news about that is we can dispute it. They might also have a negate for this, so maybe we don't risk our 1/1s. Okay, that resolved just fine. So what do they have, and how should I play around it? I think if I play another one of these, it'll get bounced. I think what I do is I fight their mana, and I think I do it on my turn, but if they have a bounce, then that doesn't work. Alright, I'm gonna hold up, because now we're ahead on board just a little. And if they go for this Brazen Borrower, we can kill their Visionary, since they're having a lot of trouble with mana. I think that's an okay play. We can also counter their Borrower. Yeah, let's fight them over mana and hope they don't draw land. Crap! Alright. Alright. Focus up. They don't have another green. They want to attack. Interesting. I'll take those trades because I have more beasts. And they have 2 beasts that they want to attack with someday. I think we gotta start playing these on red, huh? So this can hit the Brazen Borrower. Let's go like this. See what they've got. We're gonna try to establish 5/5 dominance. Ah. Didn't expect that to happen, but here we are. All right, we're an untapped red away from the happy spot since our opponents played out most of their cards. You say that, but then there's all these. Okay, so they foretell probably another Saw It Coming or an All Runs Epiphany. They play another Beast. They get a Borrower. They're at 15. This is a tough game, and it's been really weird. Let's send that back. Stompy stomps. Try to add some aggressive pressure here to force the opponent to tap out so that we can make a Koma when we top deck a red source. Or we just somehow cheeseball our way to what has been a very awkward win. They find another land. Please. Please. Let me find the land. Alright, they're holding up mana, so they do run Saw It Coming. And we don't have the mana to force this war through. So what do? We can Decisive Denial the Saw It Coming on the Lovestruck Beast. So let's attack first. They'll trade. Do we go for the 4/3 instead? Nah. Trying to keep pressure on them, and now we have lethal threats on the battlefield, and we fought our way through another Saw It Coming. So if they play 2 blockers, we can Accro and War 1. They only have 1 green, though. Okay. And they don't draw a land. Force them to throw Edgy under a bus. A bus named Lovestruck Beast? Okay. They would rather trade and go to 1. Wow, gutsy. Lukka next turn. It's 20-1. Like, we've actually done a decent job with awkward mana in a weird game of keeping pressure on the whole game, and now we have a chance to win. You can tell who the imposter giant is because card style superiority, of course. And we got the win. That was pretty crazy. Let's look at how the opponent drew. They had 2 Saw It Comings, they had 2 Lovestruck Beasts, they had an Edgewall Innkeeper, 3 Lovestruck Beasts. They had an Edgewall Innkeeper, which we did not. They were bottlenecked on green. We committed to having multiple green early in the game, but didn't have red for a really long time. I think we also had like 2 or 3 Lovestruck Beasts, 3 Lovestruck Beasts, 1 Innkeeper. Yeah, 2 Decisive Denials. So that was a pretty interesting game with trying to keep pressure on the opponent because they had a lot of good stuff to gum up the ground. And I think the takeaway is when your hand is awkward, just try to keep the opponent under pressure, and maybe that pressure can create openings in the future, because at this point we're highly favored, not just because of the life total, but because the opponent has to keep playing stuff to block our stuff, which means Lukka eventually comes out and makes a Koma. Toxman, I would have guessed easy rogues, but alas, we see that there is no companion. Love the Sentinel and Lovestruck Beast kind of pairing to keep the mana going. Mono red. Oh boy. Well, they didn't frostbite the Sentinel. They might be waiting to see if I play another creature. I will oblige them. Boo. Okay. Let's go get a blue mana then. I guess Toxman playing mono red is acceptable. So the opponent's going to want to kill this because it's a 1/1 that lets the beast attack. I'm going to offer the trade. Maybe they don't take it just because they don't block. On principle. Beast mode. So we're going to have to find a window to play this Mystical Dispute, but I'll feel a lot better if I'm holding up a Lovestruck Beast. Here's Annex. I present to you Lovestruck Beast. Let's see how you do this. You're going to block there. Okay. So. Bounce the Annex so they don't get a 1/1. Now they'll chump, pick off the 1/1. We'll make another. Haha, joke will be on them. And now, top deck land, Koma. Top deck untapped land, I should say, Koma. And if all the opponent does is replay their Annex, we're ahead on board. That Innkeeper is awkward, but welcome, I suppose, if they might be trying to kill a 1/1. Yeah, let's get this on the board and hold up Mystical Dispute for the turn cycle. You're not going to Embercleave me through the Mystical Dispute. I'm still at 20. You attack me, you take 7. Ugh. And if something were to happen to your beloved Annex... Okay, that resolves. Innkeeper down, but 1/1 still intact for the beast. Feisty. The flawless victory is not secured. Unsecured. I have a feeling they kind of like this, that they knew that they might get countered, but it's okay. Nice draw. Send the beastly message, knock you down to 8, and then drop the Lukka. And here's Koma.
If you will not see things my way.
So, how's that Embercleave feeling? Good game. That's what I thought. The coil making Koma indestructible means it can rumble, but I'd probably just tap the Annex before combat anyway, so there's just no chance of something like that happening, and then we swing for lethal. It's a very, very promising adventure so far today. Our opponents have been overwhelmed by the power of the Sentinel adventure nonsense. Okay, so this is much more difficult. We're on the draw, we have tap lands. Bonecrusher Giant has to hit something relevant. If our opponent has like some 3 toughness or indestructible stuff, we're much worse off. We don't have ramp. We do have Lukka and decent mana. So I think it's still a keep, but I could see this hand getting demolished. It's not as good as some that we've had before. It all depends on what the opponent is keeping. And it looks like we get mono white with Speaker of the Heavens. Okay. And Season Hollowblade, of course, is very, very difficult to stop. Especially if they find a Sky Maul. So, we already have options. We could Bone Crush the Speaker and not worry about Angel Central over here. If they have land Sky Maul, the holding up Bonecrusher Giant is a good play. If they don't, we really want to develop a board with Innkeeper and Lovestruck Beast. So, this is tough. I'm gonna go with the 1/1s. This 1/1 in particular is pretty useful. It can jump in front of Speaker or a Hollowblade, just force them to discard cards, try to slow them down. They don't have the Sky Maul, which is very nice to see. They're attacking with their Speaker, which is kind of very sus. But I'll take that trade. I guess they're acknowledging they're not going to get to Angel Factory. Or maybe they have a Luris. Right. They just want to keep the lifelink coming. Another Edgewall Innkeeper is nice. Let's get the beast on the board. Another untapped land is sweet. It means we can play Innkeeper and Giant next turn. No Sky Malls, please. Please. Oh, they're pointing that Giant Killer. That's pretty brutal, but it is what it is. All right, let's force them to use their mana. So they want to use Alcide to protect Speaker. They have to give it up here. All right, they will not do that. They want to play Giant Killer instead. Giant Killer is a big pain. So, are we going to Bone Crush here? If we Bone Crush, then the opponent untaps, powers up Haven, hits us for 8. We play an Innkeeper, which can jump in the way of something. We don't need more cards, though. We need the Bone Crusher Giant on the field to turn into a Koma. So we need to dodge another Giant Killer. All right. Yeah, we can't stomp. We can't stomp. We also can't take bad trades. The serpent must prevail. Interesting, they played this out, which means their last card is probably a land. Otherwise, they wouldn't play it because they have Hollow Blade. So we could prevent some damage here. We could also get this out of the way, which is pretty annoying. And I think I'll take it. So one thing you can note if you're looking for takeaways. Wow. That is really weird. I should have blocked the Hollow Blade. That is a really bizarre play that I did not see coming. Well, we weren't going to get a Koma anyway. The Shuffler came to get us. What I was going to try to say is I've used my Innkeepers like pretty aggressively to try to stay alive. But as you see, the opponent absolutely blew it up with a weird Spellbinder play that I wish I'd seen coming. Oh, the pre-GG? Oh, you scum. You scumbag. Aha! So, what are you up to today, Sonio? This hand is not a good one for this matchup. Not good at all. We're gonna get destroyed if we keep this, I think. It's just too slow. All right. Better. We can put away the Koma and we have a hand. Might get mana screwed. This is not my weapon of choice. I would prefer to play against Sonio with a control deck. He's going to be favored no matter what, because he's going to play something that is anti-creatures, and I'm playing creatures. It's kind of unfair, to be honest. Makes me look bad, but we do what we do. Not holding up Mystical Dispute, just trying to get the deck going. Okay, it's looking all right. We can do a lot of things with this. So if we bring in the Borrower on end step, we can also protect with, let's see, blue. We can't protect it with Mystical Dispute, so, but we could on the next turn Lukka Koma. So we attack with, no we don't. We cast the Borrower on end step. Does nothing. Well, I'm not gonna not do it. Interesting. So we could go for the Lukka, but I think we stare. And if we're gonna do that, I think we attack with everything. Oh, very interesting. Make a shark? Messed up. Messed up. Getting around all my tricks. Well, this isn't fun, but that's a good draw. How many removal spells do you have, and do they try to counter this? I mean, it's 1 card versus 7. It's not fair. Come on. Divide by 0. See how many mystical disputes you run or miscast.
War is hell, and I'm here to take you there.
All right, do I get to keep my Koma or do you kill it? Dead. Urgh. But you had to commit some mana. We still have a Lukka. No attacks. No land drop either. At least not yet. These are potentially all spells. Which is gonna make everything hard. What a draw. What a draw. If only I had one more creature. Wait a minute. We can go... This is pretty interesting play. I'm a fan. We might lose our Lukka. This is definitely a flashy play. I would not call this a good play. I would call it a flashy play. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Now remember, we already have a serpent here. Nope, wrong mode. We have a serpent left over from the last Koma. So, I think we give up the Lukka. If the shark wants to attack the Lukka, so be it. Because next turn we have 9, 14 actually. And we don't want to sacrifice this and have Sonio remove the Koma on our upkeep with the other trigger on the stack. That's rude. That is very rude. Dude is such a scumbag. Alright, so there's probably a Shadow's Verdict, so we hold the Innkeeper. We threw everything at the opponent. Both Komas. Oh my god. Alright, make 2-3. Come on. We needed a good draw there. We didn't get it. Alright, chump blocking. We lose a Bone Crusher, which is very frustrating. We play this out, then we get Verdicted. We have this that we can lose, so let's hang on to it, but they're at 6. 6 is so low. And if he had the Verdict, he would have played it, right? Not necessarily. He could have just totally decided I was not going to win the game that turn. Okay. Minus on the 3/3. Yep. So we need to draw an adventure card now. Okay, drew the adventure card. So do we play around a counterspell? I think we say go. Tome. All right, we gotta move quickly. So probably get countered or killed. Let's draw though, because we need some card velocity to have a chance. Okay. Could turn this Innkeeper into something better, but I think we need to plus. I think it's the only way. Now remember, we also have to keep this on the board to play them, and we need to be able to protect ourselves from an Ashiok bounce, so we have to say go. Let's act. Okay. Base. Ignores Lukka, so plans to bounce Lukka. Which probably means counterspell, which would be enough for me to scoop in this spot. That's... Alright, at 6. We can bounce this, then play Borrower, I think. So let's say go and wait till the Tome is being used. I guess if they have a counterspell, we want them to use it because we have Lukka. It's possible I'm supposed to bounce the Ashiok. It's 5 mana, but then they can replay it, get another use out of it. That sounds really bad. Alright, Brazen. They let me untap and draw. That's weird. Let's that die. Definitely planning to counter Lukka here. Let's play out the Sentinel. Make you deal with the board. There's probably another extinction event. I'm gonna be honest, I really hate playing other YouTubers when I'm not playing my fave decks. It really frustrates me. Like the other videos that he posted on his channel of playing against me, which I also don't really like when people do that. It's me playing Jund Food, like a deck I hate more than anything else. Yeah, enough of you. I still enjoy his content. I just do not... Oh, I do not like having to play him, which shouldn't surprise anybody when it comes to control mages. Alright, I blame Sonio for a streak of bad luck started by him. Let's try this. We're against Yorion. We've got 2 beasts and 2 counters. Seems like it should be good. Seems like it should do really well. The mana is going to be awkward. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to fetch red, because red could get in the way. But without red, it feels particularly awkward, because then we'll draw cards that we can't cast. That's why Triome is like the most important card in the pile. Hello. Thank you. Let's rock. Our opponent plays a Dantha Triome. They could still be Sultai, though, because Sultai can run this instead of Temple, and it helps cast Yorion, which the Temple, green-black Temple, does not. Alright, so we've drawn some nice land. We get to resolve a Lovestruck Beast and put some pressure on the opponent. And if they go for a Cultivate this turn, we really punish them, but they have to take 7. They have the removal right away. So we have to keep playing our beast. Let's see if they can kill that as well. Alright, we got them to cultivate. We get to punish their cultivate turn. It's so important that you have a lot of... If you're playing any kind of aggro or mid-range, it's so important that you can hit them really hard the turn that they cultivate. So right now we can cast both of the counters in our hand, so we'll grab a mountain. We're trying to thin the deck, but we've drawn a lot of land in a row. Actually, we've only drawn land this game. We've only drawn land. That's scary. I think it's this. They have something. They say good game, but they're not dead. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. That's what you'll want to do against Yorion. So if you get the chance, I do recommend such a hand and such a beating for them. All right, so Love-Struck Beast, Brazen Borrower, Lukka on the draw, but definitely a keepable hand, as we've got interaction, blockers, and our Koma combo. Ah, mono red. All right, let's see if we can get some mojo back against mono red. I think I make the 1/1. The Triome's gonna really cost us somewhere, but I don't know exactly where, and we might just draw untapped lands for a while, so maybe we don't have to play the Triome. Rimrock Knight. No trades. So last time they went no trades here, it was because they had an Annex. But if I don't play the Ketria Triome here, I might not play my Love-Struck Beast on time. And it's not for sure that we get to Brazen Borrower. That's a tough choice. Next turn we might Brazen Borrower and Annex anyway, so we can Aggro and War it the next turn. But if the opponent's going to make this play, that's okay. This is such a weird game. Shall we 5/5? Let's go. There might be a Torbrand in our future. Just you? Thought so. Let's try to make this turn awkward for our opponent. Because if they're down to just a charger, then we're off to the races. So let's pass turn, and if they tap out, we can play Lukka. Oh wait, maybe we just... No, we don't Aggro and War this. It can't turn into a Koma. Or it might not turn into a Koma is the right way to put it. So let's hold up interaction. There's a few things we can do. If they tap out, we can play Brazen Borrower and turn it into Koma. If they don't tap out, we can just use our adventure cards. And it looks like using the adventure cards is what's going to be good. Which, pretty happy about that they didn't play a giant. We'll need another red at some point anyway. We may as well go fetch it. But I'm going to keep holding this borrower. Let's have this on the board so that we can turn it into a Koma if it survives. Does not survive. Another robber, of course. The only thing missing from the gang is Fervent Champion. Run it back. Same plan. The Aggro and Wars with Lukka are starting to look pretty nice, though. The opponent's going to have to deploy something soon, or they're going to get run out of the game. So, do we keep the piece of interaction? Or do we play out the 3/1? I mean, this will die eventually and kill the 3/1, so let's just get this spent. Make things a little tough for the opponent. Nice draws. So we could Koma there, but let's Koma off the opponent's creatures and show off the Aggro and War Lukka Coppercoat Outcast trick. The imposter is sus. You, me, Spider-Man meme? Could bounce it. We'd have to take 2. The opponent would take 8, and then we'd Koma. Seems good. Keep in mind, they held up 1 mana. They did not replay the Charger, which is kind of weird. But I get it. I think I get it. It's because of Chapter 2 of the Aggro War. I'm going to turn your Bone Crusher Giant into my Koma. Filthy. Filthy behavior by the content creator. Disgusting. Mono Red deserves it. Okay, nice colors, and we have a Sentinel. So we get to use our little ramp creature of choice. More Mono Red? Alright, Fervent Champion was mad. Wasn't part of the show last time. Has decided to come out on turn 1 this time. Let's see if the opponent spends turn 2 on Robber of the Rich, or if they kill the Sentinel. Look at them go. How do they always have all this cool stuff? They're just relentless in that way. All right. Ooh, this is awkward. Kind of important that we use our green mana somehow this turn. Because otherwise we're going to get bottlenecked pretty bad. I don't have anything that'll kill a Annex. Holding up Bone Crusher means it might just hit a 1/1, which isn't great. Let's do this. Next turn, what we might end up doing is playing the Innkeeper and Stomp, and then play the Beast after that, depending on how this goes. Just you, huh? Okay. Rimrock Knight? Yeah. So we're going to do what I said, which is we're going to play the Innkeeper and we're going to stomp the Rimrock Knight. Because I think the opponent wants to set up an Embercleave. So we're going to make them have the untapped land. They don't. So we stomp now. So they can't get that card resolved. They're going to attack with you. If we block with both, we lose the Innkeeper. Let's just take the 1. Innkeeper being a priority threat. Okay, they're going to do the Rimrock Knight thing again. Embercleave. Embercleave's going to be nasty. Because they use their Fervent Champion, right? And they boost their Rimrock Knight. So it goes right through our Lovestruck Beast. We don't have the mana to hold up a Denial, and we used our Bone Crusher Giant, so we can't hold that up. So we have to play this, I think. And we have to draw a green. Close, no cigar. Red or blue, red or blue, red or blue, red. Really needed that to be green. Just to get a little more traction on the board. Okay, that's not Embercleave, that's Soulseer. Could make some blocks, but no. It would take them off Embercleave, but now I've got a new mission. I've got a new lease on life. We can play this and use blue for Decisive Denial and stop Embercleave that way. I don't think they have it because they didn't use it last turn, but it doesn't mean they won't draw it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Another creature. All right, they definitely don't have it then. Take 2. Man, how many 1-drops have they drawn this game? Definitely not one of Mono Red's better draws. It would be such a blowout if they had another Frostbite, but I don't think they do. But we could establish ourselves more. Like, play Lovestruck Beast, hold up a Borrower activation isn't a bad play. But we didn't come here to do just the same old adventure nonsense. We're here for the snake. Leave a comment if you're here for the snake.
Overcoats won't listen. I will punish them.
Roar. They've shown us that they run Soul Seer, which can make Koma lose indestructible. All right, they're going for the Phoenix. They're going to combat. Let's tap this. See if they attack with everything else. Okay, that should be a tipping point for sure. So I'm going to try to improve my board presence, hit a better creature, and we hit. What were the odds? Shuffler is fine, everybody. It's really fine. Don't worry about it. Just let it be the Shuffler. All right, this holds open Brazen Borrower. No attacks. Let's just keep building a wall on the ground and tapping down the bird in the air. Although here we can just bounce it. Boing. One Punch Fae? There will be no One Punch Fae animation today. Not this day. And we are back for the post-game wrap. And yeah, the deck performed really well. Let's check the stats powered by untap.gg. The deck list link below takes you to that page. And if you download the companion app for free, it supports the channel. So let's have a look. And where did we go? 6-3, a 67% win rate, which is nice to see. Pretty good hour of time spent on the ranked ladder, and we moved from 270 up to number 170 with particularly convincing showings against Mono Red. A beautiful 3-0 against Mono Red, and that's really what the adventure decks are made to do, to give a hard time to aggro decks. There are some cards here that we've added to try to have better game against control. Koma can sometimes solo control. Mystical Dispute and Decisive Denial are very good, but as we saw from fellow control mage Sonio, with the right pieces, you just kind of pick that apart if you do it well. Also, I definitely made a flashy play there, but Sonio, we're not cool anymore. I thought we were friends. But now you come onto my show, embarrass my Lukka adventure pile with like your 15 billionth Sultai pile. It's leaving me a little salty, to be honest. A little salty. But anyway, check out Sonio's channel. I'm sure that his side of the festivities will be nothing but a celebration of all things control and having the right cards perfectly for all the right things. But yeah, I know that Adventures isn't exactly a new or novel strategy, but I will say I like this adventure list much more because of the Lukka Koma thing. If I get to play Koma, I'm usually having a lot more fun. So I wouldn't craft the Eldraine adventure cards. We're getting into the home stretch of Eldraine, and these cards won't be legal much longer. But if you've been playing Magic for the last year and a half, you probably already have them all. And this is a really good meta choice when the meta gets too aggressive. I also love the Sentinel. There were a lot of really good draws that were enabled by the Sentinel. It can be awkward. You do need to draw it in conjunction with the Innkeeper, and you need to draw it in conjunction with like Lovestruck Beast or a Stomp target. But when you are playing with the Sentinel, it does feel like you're doing a lot better than Llanowar Visionary, which is often what's in the deck, and it's just occupying a very crowded 3-mana spot that isn't, in my opinion, very good for the pile. A Crow in War I also really like, but it's only good in some matchups. Same with Fire Prophecy. So try to draw the right half of the deck in the right places, try to manage your mana well, try to put pressure on the control decks, try to alleviate pressure from the aggro decks, and may the adventures bring you some wins. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.